Okay, this is going to be the first strategy analysis video of the 2025-2026 season. This is going to be looking at two different matches from the Stemley Cup Overtime Sunday that we just played over the weekend. Uh, we're going to look in particular here why scouting uh, and preparation and decision making are important to winning matches. We're going to look at two different matches, one that went very poorly for us and one that went really well for us, and look at the differences between the two and how we prepared and what the outcomes were for that. So the purposes we're going to look here, uh, we're going to look at qualifications matches 6 and that's actually 15, I think, not 19. I'll change that. It's match 15. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at what the goals were for each of these matches. I was around for the discussions for some of these, so I got to hear what our plan was, what our game plan was when that was being made. So I knew what our intent was going into these matches, so what we were actually trying to do. So what those decisions were that went into making those plans, and then we'll look at how we actually executed during the match, and how we reacted to changing events during the match and what the outcomes were from those. Now, the goal of this presentation, this is not to pick on anyone or to place any blame or anything like that. We are just trying to show the results of things that happened so we can look at how we can get better at things. So we got to remember it's an off-season event. We had new people in new roles, so everybody is learning. So we want to illustrate here why it is important to have good information and having scouting data and putting the time and effort into doing that. That is not something we did for the off-season events, and that is kind of what led to some of these issues here. We're going to look at how we create a plan based on that data, and then how we react to changing circumstances during the match as well. So those are our goals. So let's look first at match number 6. So our alliance here, again, I don't know our own team number. That is 229. So that is us, team number 340, which is from Rochester, New York, and 6725. They are from London. We are playing against 9098, the Firehawks, 7480, the Machine Mavericks, and 5032, which is the Falcons. We looked at this, or I guess 3040 looked at this and decided this is a match we should win fairly easily. I'm not sure where 3040 was getting their information from. They may have done some scouting ahead of the event, or they just might have been playing really aggressively the whole time. But they were the dominant robot on our alliance, and as usual, the dominant robot tends to make take the lead in the strategy decision making. And their goal from this is they wanted to try to get 6 ranking points out of this match. Now, in order to get 6 ranking points at Stemley, you need to win. Winning is worth 3 points. Everyone moves off the line and someone scores a coral in auto. That gets you 1 point. And then the coral bonus, it is championship rules, so you need 7 coral scored on a level. You need to do that 4 different levels to get to the coral rank point, or if you achieve co-op, it's only 3 levels. But either way, this is either 28 or 21 coral total that needs to be scored, which is a lot. And you need 16 barge points, so that is up from what we played during the season. So this is the championship rules for barge points. 16 points would be one deep climb is worth 12, and then a park is worth 2. So you need both of your robots to park. So all 3 robots need to be involved in this to get to the 16 points. So that would be the climb plus 2 parks to get there. So that is our plan. We're going to win the match. Everyone moves in auto and we score. And we are going to put 7 coral on 4 levels, or hopefully we get co-op and we get 7 coral on 3 different levels. And then everyone goes and parks in the barge. That is our plan. Our role in this, we said we can do L1s really well. So that is going to be our role. We can score the L1s. So we need to score 7 L1s for our team to help get the ranking point. And we are also going to put 2 into the processor, and that is going to help us get the co-op. So it was also decided that 6725 was going to take the center auto spot because that is where they wanted to be. We are going to run a side auto and score a single L1 in auto. So that was the discussion that took place, and that was the plan that we went forward with. So several different errors with this plan, and let's talk about what those errors were before the match even started. So pre-match planning errors. So because we didn't have data, it is very hard to argue with the plan if you don't have data that actually backs up your argument. So really we don't have a leg to stand on when we start talking about things, because we really don't have anything to back that up with. But we were also not being very assertive when we were talking about the strategy. We were basically having 340 dictate how things were going to go to us, and we probably should have stood up a bit more to them. So the first issue here, so this match is likely going to be a lot closer than we give it credit for. The other teams on the other side are actually pretty decent, so we may want to really concentrate on the win here, not just try to go for the bonus RPs. We may want to try to play this one a little safer and just go for the win, but it seemed to be that we were pretty confident in our strategy. The second major point here is that we gave up our center auto position. So 6525, as far as I can tell from looking at this afterwards, and I had no data at the time to argue this, had no record of actually scoring in auto from the center. Now I went back and looked at this afterwards, and they were not scoring reliably from the center or from anywhere in auto during the season. So I don't know why we gave that position up to them. Now if you look at our record, and other people would not have access to this because most of this was from the off-season event at Sandwich, but we were about 13 out of 14 going into this match for scoring an L4 coral from the center position. So we were extremely reliable from that position. But we agreed to give that position up and move to the outside position to try to score an L1. So that is running an auto that we had not run since provincials the previous year. So we are assuming that's going to work, but we hadn't even tried it. We actually practiced this just running it on the cart and assumed that it was going to work. But we really didn't know what was going to happen when we tried that on the field, so there was kind of a random element to what could happen there. But even if it was successful, that auto would score 3 points instead of the 7 points we would score from the center. So we're giving up 4 points of productivity ourselves, and assuming that 6725 is going to score in the middle or do something that is worth better than 4 points. But that is a pretty big unknown, and we probably should not have given up that center spot in auto. So let's actually watch the match unfold and see how this goes and we'll watch how the match plays out. So we are right over here. So we are over there. So that's us going in and scoring our side auto right there. This is 67-25, and you'll see they just move off the line but do not do anything in auto. Alright, so auto has just finished. 340 has scored 1, 2, 3 L4s and a single L3 as well. So very good auto from them. They did 4 pieces. We did our L1, 67-25, moved forward but did nothing else. Now if we look over on the other side, they also did very well. Auto, coming out of auto, it's a very close match. But we are on our way. So now we start into teleop, and we are going to try to score 2 in the processor. So we're going to grab this one here, come in and auto align, grab that one, score it in the processor. And look here, we are just into the match, and 67-25 is right here or here, and they have now disabled over here. And even worse, they've disabled right up against the reef, a nice accessible part of the reef where we would want to do some scoring. So this is not good. So we are ahead right now, but we have a disabled partner right now. So we are going ahead, we're doing our job. We've got 1 scored in the processor. We're going to continue on, we're grabbing a second one here. We have now scored 2 in the processor, and now we're going to start doing L1s because that is our game plan. Now, we are sticking with the game plan at this point. And our plan is that we are going to try to fill the fill up the reef. Fill the reef with 7 on each level. Now we have a disabled partner, which means that we only have 2 robots now doing this. We have a fairly close match, and the other team has put 1 in the processor for co-op, but they haven't done a second one yet. So it's looking like co-op is kind of dicey, maybe not going to happen. So we're going to need to do 4 levels of 7 on each level with only 2 robots. So we might want to start thinking at this point, being observant and saying, maybe this idea of trying to do all the reef is not such a good idea. And our plan at this point is we are going to do L1s, which is the lowest scoring task we can do in a very close match. Maybe we should abandon this task and do some more high scoring coral scoring instead. So let's watch this play for a little bit. Score is very close. Our partner is still disabled. We're scoring L1s. We keep hitting our partner because they're in our way and making it difficult for us to score. So not only are they disabled, but they're in the way and slowing down our scoring cycles as well. So we're just barely ahead here. But we're chugging away. Now it's real close at this point. And we are down to 45 seconds left. So we should be able to evaluate at this point, are we going to get that reef point? We've got 45 seconds left. We're still going to have to climb. It's a 5-point match. We didn't get our 7 on the top. We're about to get 7 on the bottom. We have nothing on L2. So are we going to be able to get everything that we need here? It's not looking like it. We are not going to achieve uh, the coral rank point here, and we are in danger of losing this match. So we should have switched our strategy a little while ago. At this point, we should definitely switch our strategy and try to score this high value stuff over here and try to pull ahead and get these points, because we've only got a couple cycles left before we have to go climb and park. But we're continuing to do L1s, so we're not reacting to the situation that's going on here. We've got a 1 point lead right now. And now we are behind. Now our partner comes back to life, but there's only 20 seconds left, so it is now time to go climb. And our partners, I don't know, it's a tied match here right now. I'm not sure if they were concerned, if 340 was concerned about the score, so they were just trying to score right up until the end and left it pretty late to go for the climb. But you'll see how this turns out. But it looks like they did not have enough time to come in and climb. So we got no climb here. They had one in the air. We were up by 1 point. And blue wins. And there we go. Blue Alliance wins by 3 points. So we end up losing that match. So, what was our problems here? So, in match, coaching and drive errors. So there are a few errors that happened during the match that we did not react to, and we didn't react to the changing game conditions. So number one, 6725 broke down. At that point, it is unlikely we were going to get the coral ranking point, and this makes scoring L1s a bad strategy because that is the lowest value task that we can do. Issue number two, Blue Alliance scores 1 in the processor but not a second, so we're not going to get co-op, which means that we need all 7. We need 7 on all 4 levels, which does not seem achievable with only 2 robots. Another reason we should have abandoned the L1 strategy and done more higher value things. L1s really did not play into any kind of strategy if we were not going to get the Coral RP. And number 3, score is really close, so we should not be trying to play that L1 strategy. So things happened during the match. We had a plan, but we just stuck with that plan instead of reacting to what was going on in the match. And in the end, we went in with a plan to try to get 6 points. If we played the center position in auto, we could have scored our L4 in auto. We could have started the match the same way. Once 6725 broke down and we knew we had no co-op, we could have reacted and switched to L4s, abandoned that coral rank point strategy, but still tried to win, try to salvage the win, try to salvage the barge points. If we see the match is close, we keep scoring on all levels where available. If there was less pressure because we were scoring more points, maybe 340 goes for the climb earlier, we still could have got 5 points out of that match. Instead, we played it pretty poorly. We ended up with only 1. We got the auto leave point. That was the only rank point we got for the whole match. So we cost ourselves there. So let's look at match 15 now instead. So in this one, it is 1229, 3015, which is Ranger, also from Rochester, New York, and 781, the Kinetic Knights. Again, we're against the Firehawks, the Cyber Gnomes, and Rebel. Again, we feel like we should win this match. 3015 is taking the lead on the strategy and decision making. Again, we're playing almost the identical strategy. We want to try to get 6 rank points. So the same things we need from there that we played in the last match. One of the difference here, though, Again, we're going to play L1s, but in this one, we are going to try to score in the opponent's processor twice, which will guarantee that we get co-op. Ranger's going to score in our processor, and then we're going to go try to score 7 L1s to get that rank point. And we are going to take the center auto position and score the L4. So that is a couple slight differences, but essentially the same match strategy as the previous match. And we are going to score in their processor to ensure that the co-op actually happens. So let's watch this one play out. And we are right here this time. 3015 is here. 781 is here. First thing you'll notice here, 781 does not move in auto. And this is pretty much the only thing that goes wrong this entire match. Everything else works out pretty perfectly for us. So this is us here. We're going to score our L4. 3015 has a ground intake, which is really effective. So they scored 4 L4s. We scored 1 L4, so that's 5 L4s scored. And we grab an algae, score it in the other team's processor. 3015 is scoring in, they already scored 2 in our processor, now they're scoring into the net. And we are coming down here, we're scoring another one in their processor. So you'll see the co-op gets activated now. So we only need to score on 3 levels at this point. So we are just going to start running L1s. We already have the 7 on L4s. We just need to fill in L3 and L1. We have a good healthy lead at this point. We got some defense coming over. 2013 is giving us a little bit of defense. And we got the second level done. And there's 6 on the L1. And that is 7 on the L1. So we have our L1s completed. So we have our rank point there on the reef. 3015 is doing their climb. They got their climb with 8 seconds left. We just need 2 robots to park. And we got our 2 robots in there with 2 seconds left. And that is a really, really well executed match. So we won handily. We got our barge. We got our reef point. And we set a high score in the process. So really well done. So that was almost a perfect match. So that was a 5-point match with co-op. Could have been a 6-point match with co-op if 781 had moved in auto. That's all they had to do, was just move off the line in auto, and we would have had 6 rank points plus the co-op. All matches depend on a balance of skill, luck, and things your partners do that are not in your control. But one thing we can do is be prepared with data so we can make good decisions before the match starts, stand up for ourselves and know what our capabilities are, so we can say, well, we need to take that center spot because we are the best at the center auto. We will get the most value for our team if we are in the center. being able to say things like that and argue it with data is very important. And knowing how close a match is going to be and when to go for rank points versus when to just try to win is very important as well. And then having the awareness during the match to be able to adjust when that plan that we've made starts to fail, and being able to judge if you're going to be able to get that scoring volume rank point or not. If you're not going to get it, maybe you need to try something else that guarantees that you win at that point, as opposed to trying to get all the bonuses. So some very good lessons learned. Those matches were played about an hour apart, so that is the same drive team, basically the same coaching, and things like that. uh, it's just a matter of sometimes things go your way, sometimes they don't, but if you have good data and you prepare, then you have a better chance of having matches like the second one than matches like the first one. So that is the lesson for today. Uh, so it's fun to see some really well played matches like that one there. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thanks.